Hi guys, we're back. I guess I have that echo.
And me and Patty didn't say anything. We look like mutants or something. Yeah. They made us look retarded. That's not what we planned.
It's just a
For the text.
Anyway,
we planned something different, and then it just was
And
like.
it always comes down to execution.
at least we're being ourselves. We're not all rehearsed and thing.
Okay.
So we're back to do part 2, which would be season 7 through 13. I'm sorry, season 2, episode 7 through 13. And before we get started, I just wanted to take a minute to recognize Lymphoma Awareness Month. I know it was September and we're now October 1, but I could not let the month go by before taking a note to say I was diagnosed with cutaneous T-cell lymphoma in July of 2014. And it's been a rough journey. So today I just wanted to, give a little shout out and let people know, hang in there, all of you.
We're with you.
MFers, they call them.
Green.
So the girls are wearing green to support me. So I just wanted to put that in there.
Okay.
So let's hop right on back into it. So episode 7 is pretty much dead already after Glenn discovers the walkers in the barn. Maggie tries to convince him to keep everything quiet and not say anything. Rick approaches Herschel, and Herschel doesn't want to come to terms with the fact that the walkers are dead. They're not really alive. He's thinking that they're still, that there's a cure for them.
Right.
So after, I'm going a little bit ahead of myself. What I wanted to say is, what would you do if you were Rick or Shane? This is pretty much after they find out that there's walkers in the barn. Shane is, as he always is, gung-ho. He wants to go and clean out the barn. What would you do if you were Rick or Shane? You could pretty much choose which one you want to comment on.
Rick or Shane for what instance?
How would they handle cleaning out the barn? Shane is like going, let's just clean it out, regardless of what Herschel says, because Herschel thinks they're people.
Yeah.
So...
Patty was just asking me, sorry. I think Shane did it it was rough, but it had to be done that way, because I think if they had taken time to think about it and talk it over with Herschel, they would have never found Sophia, and those walkers would have still been in that barn. They probably just would have had to leave the farm. So even though it's insensitive, it had to be done. That's it.
I think that they should have done what they did, but I would have consoled the family first, because obviously there were loved ones in there.
And we need to say how they did it, what was done.
Shane, at the suggestion of Shane, they opened up the barn. They found out that there were walkers in there. They pretty much broke open the barn. Herschel didn't want it to happen because he still feels like they're his family members. His wife is in there, stepson, different members. So they went against his, decision, his opinion or whatever, and cleaned out the barn. Just shot up everybody, shot up the dead. And in the process, they finally find Sophia. She's been bitten. So Rick has to put her down.
I felt very briefly. I felt like
very briefly.
I felt like both sides handled it stupid.
Okay.
Rick and Shane. I think Rick walking around with that stupid
that was
can
on
Herschel, take the stick. That was stupid.
Yeah.
But then Shane busting open the guy's barn, tearing up the place and shooting up the man's family, because the man still thinks it's his family. Both sides handled it stupid. To me, they were polar opposites. And polar opposites can be stupid.
What would have been the ideal way to handle it?
I think it's what Patty said. I agree with Patty. You should have talked to the guy and said, listen, these are dead people.
But he did try.
It would not have worked, but then you still can't go and
bust down. You gave him
down.
a chance, I guess.
You can't go tear his house apart. He still thinks that's his family.
He tried to go in and talk to Herschel and get him to see that these are not living people
Shane
anymore.
didn't. Shane went and got the guns that he told him not to have.
He riled now, what I disagree with, he worked everyone up.
Okay.
Everybody should have waited.
Shane should have gone and spoke with Herschel.
Wait. Y'all should have waited for Herschel to either come to grips, or, when he gets this one in the barn, let Herschel start to see it for himself. He really had no time. It could have taken, but this is his man's property. You can't come on my property, bust it up, and think I'm going to welcome you.
I understand.
Ain't happening.
So episode 8 is Nebraska. So after the situation, Nebraska's hilarious.
That's my favorite episode.
Yeah,
after the situation at the farm, when they pretty much, cleaned out the barn and everything, Sophia's been discovered bitten. A lot is just going on. So Herschel kind of goes back to his old ways of drinking. So he goes up to this local bar, and Rick and Glenn once again have to go out and bring him back. So while at the bar, they meet these two guys, and pretty much the guys are like trying to fill them out. They think they're a little bit smarter than Rick. They could pull a fast one.
Yes.
And Rick gotta lay them down and let them know.
That's what I love about. That's why I love it. I love it about Rick.
It's not gonna happen.
Right.
He's very observant.
He was quick. He was quick.
He
quick
knows
draw.
right away.
Exactly. He gets that sense from being a cop.
No, what was funny when the guy said, "Where should we live?" and he was like,
I don't know. I heard Nebraska.
Nebraska's nice, but they had just said Nebraska.
They were running.
That's funny.
They were running trains from Montgomery or something into Nebraska because of the guns and the ammo, whatever.
He's like, "I hear Nebraska's nice. You can go there."
My question to you girls, with everything that's been going on, all of the the bad things that have been happening, and Herschel with his laws and everything, would you have just kept moving on if you were Rick? Just keep pushing forward.
No,
Rick was
scared. Rick was scared because Lori's pregnant.
Exactly.
Lori's pregnant. Herschel's a doctor. I mean, how much better can you get than that?
Perfect place for them to be.
Do you deal with this guy telling you no guns and no? This is your.
I was willing to do whatever it took to keep them safe.
They were okay at that point.
Exactly.
You gotta warm them up on the street, on the road.
It felt safe.
No.
They were all
And the farm was not molested at the time.
Right, the farm was not even
he had a
open
generator.
to walkers. It wasn't vulnerable.
Yeah, he had everything. He had a generator. He had
I understand. So you stay comfortable
there. You can
so they're staying in comfort.
Yeah,
comfortable.
Shoot, on the road in the ditch with the baby that ain't. You don't know who the father is.
Yeah. So moving on to episode 9, which is called Trigger Finger. So Herschel, Glenn, and Rick are still at the bar. They are now contending with the friends of the two guys that Rick just had to kill. Yeah. So the guys are coming back, looking for their friends, and obviously they can't go, hey, whatever. But after Rick sees that the guys are not leaving, he says, okay, they drew on us first, so we had to do what we had to do. So, what would you have done in the situation after the guys, Rick ended up shooting a couple of them, and then one of them gets injured and gets left behind?
I'm sorry.
What would you do?
Y'all ain't getting in this. I'm first with this comment. That one to me is the turning point in Rick and Shane.
I think that was just the end of
his relationship because he was like,
another dumb decision.
You are a
freaking idiot.
Yeah.
You're gonna bring this guy back to where your car sleeps and where Laura sleeps. You're gonna bring this guy
again.
What I didn't understand, even more than that. This is what I didn't understand. The boy fell off the roof onto the slat. Leave him there. If you're gonna turn around and kill him anyway, you should have just left him there.
His own friends left him.
That felt more inhumane. Is that the word?
Well, no. He was stuck.
Leave him there.
I could have comforted myself by saying, the guy was stuck, but I'm gonna bring him back.
Just leave him.
Okay.
They use their medicine. They use their resources to fix the guy up, to then send them away. Yeah. That didn't make any sense.
Wait, who was saying take it? Was it Glenn to say take him off of there, or Rick?
No, it was Rick.
Okay.
Rick was
Herschel was like, no.
Herschel was like, we can't.
Glenn was like, leave him there.
Everybody, Glenn was like, we gotta go.
Yeah, that's what.
Everybody was like, we gotta go. They wasted bullets. Rick, I'm sorry. Y'all love that Lincoln, Andrew Lincoln. I love him,
I
but
love you, Andrew.
Girl, you would have left that.
But he does more good than anything.
But he makes some
he did the
rash
right
decisions.
You think he
did the right thing?
Wait, what?
However,
what?
No, he should have left him compelled.
Can I state my case?
Yeah, go.
My case is that he was still living. That guy brought it on himself when he lied. He had an opportunity to tell Rick and them what his motives were. He went behind Rick and Shane and Glenn's back and Herschel's back, and he tried to nitpick with everybody else.
Who are you talking about, Pumpkin?
The guy,
Randy.
Randall.
When did he go behind their back?
when Carl came,
I get what you're saying. He was trying to save his life.
No, but we talking about before that. When the boy fell off
you
the
don't
roof.
understand what I'm saying.
Should he have taken him from the impale?
He did what he was supposed to do for humanity.
The person trying to kill you and you should save them?
Well, at that point, he was vulnerable.
You would have been left.
How many times do you forgive someone? You got to forgive
while they impaled on the fence and the walkers are surrounding me?
This guy
I understand that.
A group to come after us,
but he was still living.
Okay, let me ask you this:
still living.
You married, and your husband come home and tell you this man tried to kill us, and he was with some funny men that had already basically made it clear that they did what they had to do to be where they had to be. They weren't nice guys, and you brought him back to our farm. My husband did that, and I'm gonna be looking at him like, oh, that's my so hero. Nice. I'm gonna be like, and so what? A, what are we gonna do with him? He's all injured. And B, wasn't he trying to kill you?
Yeah.
What they could have done was let him go. Like they had taken him 18 miles out, and they put a thing on him. They blindfolded him. So why not?
But he said, "I know Maggie."
The name of the show is 18 Miles Out.
That's when he did it for himself. When he said, "I know Maggie."
He said, "I know Maggie." He said, "I know Maggie."
But we're gonna agree to disagree.
We'll move on.
Okay.
So,
but this is good. We disagree.
Yes, we can't always agree. And we don't always agree. So Rick and Herschel and Glenn return with the kid. He's injured, obviously. So Shane is like, what
so
is
you
going
guys
on?
don't. My son is trying to get in the apartment.
I'm trying to,
and I'm trying to not to rip him a new one right now. He knows better while we're taping, but we're into you right now. He's good. He gonna be 18 miles out in a minute.
So if you hear some screeching,
it's not the Walking Dead. It's a live one.
Just kidding.
So Shane,
JK.
So Shane again is just like disgusted with Rick's decision. Like, why are you bringing this kid back here, putting us all in danger? He knows Maggie. He could possibly bring his friends back. So pretty much Lori and Rick are talking, and she tells Rick that Shane is becoming more obsessed again, putting them against each other, putting the bug in his ear.
She shouldn't have did that.
She just keeps
putting the bug in his ear.
She get that, putting the bug in his ear.
We
agree with you quickly.
Putting the bug in his ear, telling him, he wants to take me from you, pretty much doing all of that.
She shouldn't have did that.
So
I'm sorry. I'm worked up. I'm worked over that.
So,
like you
hello.
Anyway, she coming for your
My
job.
question would be: Should Lori have just stayed quiet? Should she just have stayed quiet and just like wait for things to play out, just like see how things were gonna go?
That wouldn't have been realistic. She was being a typical wife. I'm sorry.
But why do that when you know what's gonna happen? You know that you're gonna make the situation worse.
The only thing I understood about why she said that to him was suppose Shane was as volatile as he wound up being, and like went after my husband and tried to kill him, and my husband was unaware of how far he was going. On the other hand, Rick he knew or nice said I wanted to break your nose as soon as I thought about it. But I don't think that she should have said anything.
No,
I don't.
It made the situation worse.
She should have stayed
She felt
quiet.
like he should know.
She was in his ear.
What do you feel?
He should know.
She shouldn't have done that.
Right.
Because Shane may have changed his ways if she didn't put these ideas.
That's what I'm saying.
Because even when she told him to stay, she should have let him leave. When he was leaving, she was like, "Stay."
And to me, after she did that, Rick started to really change towards Rick. He became more like, Rick started to change towards Shane even more, like making Daryl his right hand man.
That was more natural though, because Shane was always against whatever he said or wanted to do.
That's why I said that other one in Nebraska was that when he brought that boy back.
It's like another stupid decision to put us in jeopardy.
That did it.
All right, so 18 Miles Out, which is episode 10, Rick decides against Shane's opinion, or some may feel better judgment, to take the kid out. 18 miles, that's the title. Take him out and just pretty much let him go and not kill him.
Wasting gas.
That was a waste of energy.
Gas. I didn't get that whole.
That made no sense. It was too much time.
My man did that, and he gonna be 18 miles out.
Yeah.
So along with my son, that was 18 miles out.
So how do you feel? Should they just have killed him from the start?
Yeah, they should have left him on the tree or wherever.
After they brought him back, though. But after they brought him back,
I wouldn't have brought him back.
I'd rather not say.
Why?
Because it involves blood.
It's too ugly?
I know what she would have been.
Thank you. That's it.
Smoking gun. He should have just left him on the fence.
Yeah.
Left him on the fence.
That
And if you're going to pull him
took up
off,
too much
it was
energy.
stupid.
It
And if
really
I'm going to
did.
pull you off and save your life,
Yeah.
then they should have pulled him off and left him there to fend for himself.
Yeah.
Maybe help you to get a little bit along the curve.
Yeah.
Get you away from the walkers, and then we out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let you know.
I think that they could have done.
Yeah.
Instead of bringing him back to my house. Come to my house. Beyonce.
Shout out to Beyonce and Obsessed.
Beyonce, I'm saying, you coming to my house? You touch my child?
All right, girls. So Lori and Andrea get into a heated debate over Beth's condition. Pretty much Beth is like in shock. She's not sure if she wants to live. She's like trying to kill herself and all of this stuff. So Andrea kind of like gets at her, Lori, like, how dare you? How dare you come down on me? How dare you act like you all of that? So my question is, do you think Lori's attitude towards certain members of the group is condescending? Like, does she think that she's all of that?
She's the first lady.
Or is she just like how do you feel? She's the first lady.
Yeah.
I don't
You
think
think
it's
condescending,
condescending.
It was.
I think that if she came across that way, it was because they were constantly giving Rick these looks like they were acting like they were doing a better job. I think she was defending Rick.
She's
I think
very
she did a good job of
opinionated.
defending Rick.
And she's sort of witchy with a B.
You thought
Yeah.
so?
Yeah,
She is.
she's
To
But
me,
when she
she's
had to
witchy
be,
with
not
a
just
B.
for
To
no
me, she
reason.
is.
Not for no reason, but she's a little.
She is.
She had to
comes
stand
down.
firm. Like any
When
woman
she had
standing
an
beside a
agenda,
man, you
that's
have
when
to
she
be
did it.
strong.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't. She supported him and whatever, and was like, "Do what you gotta do." But she was a little witchy with a B.
She is. She is. All right. So episode 11, Judge, Jury, Executioner. So the kid is brought back to the farm.
Here we go.
Once again,
That's much energy.
Rick
That
decides
whole
to bring
thing
him
is
back
waste of
instead of
time.
taking him out and letting him go free. Daryl tortures him to try to get
Good.
information about his little buddies
My
that
husband,
are there.
right there, beat him to death.
He finds out that there's a larger group. So they thought it was a couple of them, the ones that were from the bar. No, it turns out that there's about 30 of them.
Could have been Negan.
So now the farm is potentially in danger. So after Rick notifies the group of the news that this kid knows more people, do you think that they should just keep him on the farm and just make him be a slave or
Dale
use him for labor?
was an idiot.
I just.
Do you think
Moving
that
on.
they should use him for labor?
No.
No
What do we
comment.
need him for?
Oh, okay.
I
No.
said what I meant.
No, he was useless. No. Mm-mm.
All right. So also too, I wanted to talk about Shane thinking. Well, excuse me, Daryl and Dale thinking that Shane killed Otis. So they come to the decision that he's killed Otis. Do you think that the group is being inhumane, or are they just trying to survive?
The group or just
Yeah.
Shane?
When they're trying to, I'm sorry guys, I'm going all over the place. When they're talking about killing the kid, do you think that it's inhumane?
I think it was you put the group. Now you make the group have to make a decision
Mhm.
that you should have made before he came home.
It's
Okay.
not. They probably felt like they were being inhumane.
But Carol said
But
it. You
it's
can't
about
make them do this.
survival.
Dale
It's
said
about
that.
survival.
Dale thinks that they're being
They should have just
inhumane.
left him. That ends that whole scene
Yeah,
right there.
yeah.
They should have just left him. Now
There's
all
no
the
way you can
energy
drive him.
that's being spent into housing him, torturing him, keeping him, going back and forth.
Where you
against
gonna
each other
drive
about
him?
what
Where
you're
you gonna
do with
drive him? He knows
They
the
should have
farm.
left him
What are you gonna do with him
there.
now?
Okay.
It was.
Like you
It was
said, they should have
stupid.
taken him off and let him fend for himself, and he wouldn't have lasted long because his leg was really messed up.
All right, so after all of that, I'm just going to get to the hot stuff. After all of that, Dale ends up getting killed because he drifts off after
Wanders off by
not
himself.
agreeing with the group and wanting to kill him. He drifts off into the woods, and I don't know why, because he's known as the watcher, the protector. He didn't protect
The
himself.
sage.
So he goes
It
off
doesn't
into
matter,
the
guys.
woods and gets bitten.
We don't care.
And
It was brutal.
It's
Fast
actually
forward.
because of what?
Fast forward.
He actually didn't
Goodbye.
get bitten. The walker just tore open
Well,
his...
same thing. He got injured and he was
eviscerated him? Is
turning.
that the right word?
Do you think that this was Carl's fault?
You know
No.
what's funny?
It wasn't
What?
possible.
That Andrea was like, I don't want to be torn apart by some drooling walkers. And
Drooling
Dale
freaks.
and Dale was the one that got torn apart.
Yeah, he literally got...
He saved her.
Stay on topic,
He
guys.
saved
Okay.
her. Good
Because
for him.
Cindy-
Karma.
this question made me think of Cindy, because Cindy said that people will often kill not by the walkers because of. So do you think that this was Carl's fault?
No.
Yes, it was.
No.
It was Carl's fault.
No.
I think so.
It was
Dale
shouldn't have wandering off.
He was an idiot for wandering off, but if Carl wasn't out there, but Carl freed him. The walker was stranded in that mud. The walker was stuck in the mud. But because Carl kept messing with him and playing with him, like Lindsay and them playing with them doggone walkers later on at the prison.
But
thinking they little brothers and sisters.
But shouldn't he have said something to the group?
Yes,
like there's
Carl
a walker out there
Carl should have told, but he didn't want to get himself. He didn't want to get himself in trouble. Okay. So that's why he didn't tell. But
what
then
do you think?
I think that it was not his fault. It was
a
the
luck
nature of the beast.
I'm sorry,
That's
it was
the
his
nature
fault.
of the beast.
It was his fault.
I think it was his fault because he should have let the members of the group know there's one walker out here that could potentially drift off into.
He would have gotten himself in trouble for wandering off.
I mean,
like
how
Lori
much trouble? They let him curse Carol out and all they did. You can't do that. What's the worst that can happen? I would have been like, bring it on.
Episode 12, Better Angels. After Dale's death and memorial, Rick goes back to the original decision. Once again, flip-flopping. And this is what we're talking about. He goes back to the original decision to let Randall free. So Shane disagrees with Rick and just keeps shutting him down at every turn. Like, now he's getting more like...
Now they...
I'm not even giving you a chance to
so
talk.
Unstable.
I'm just going to shut you down, Shane, at every course. I'm just shutting you down, letting you know who's running things.
I think once Sophia was found in the barn, Rick began to feel guilty and funny about his leadership. He started to question his own self. And because of that, now he's like, I'm doing this, and the decision
like he had
is final.
to prove himself.
Okay, so my question is, should Shane have continued to shut Rick down, or just give him a chance to try to change? Like, give him a chance to hear his opinion, because originally Shane, but
it's
look,
very costly.
But Shane started off as the leader. Now you just coming in Bogart, so could Rick have handled the situation better and maybe not have caused so much tension? Because he just kept shutting him down, and I think that made Shane resent him. So could he have handled that differently?
What do you think, Patsy?
No, I don't think so.
So
I mean,
it was good to keep
they both had
down?
different. Like I said before, they both have different mannerisms, and Shane wasn't going to change in the afterworld, and Rick wasn't. Sadly, they couldn't seem to. They couldn't seem to compromise.
But couldn't he?
And they were the two strongest leaders. I don't think anything
friend,
different.
And as a man, couldn't he have handled it a little bit differently? He kind of demeaned them, like, no, and you're just going to have to deal with the decision that I'm making.
I think that Shane was a little
bit.
I think that Shane.
That's not usually the case.
He's trying to talk.
Okay. I think that Shane became too belligerent.
Yes, that's true.
That's
as a man, just like, you just gonna have to deal with it. Like,
suck it up.
So he needed somebody to validate his manhood. I don't think
Rick
so.
is making stupid decisions. That's about.
I'm sorry. I just think that in both of their minds, this is all about Lori.
It is. It's a fight for her love.
And they were never gonna compromise, see eye to eye, or make decisions that supported each other, because Lori was that common denominator for them.
All right, so we're gonna move on to the part where Shane goes back to the farm after everybody's off doing whatever they normally are doing. So he wants to kill Randall. So he goes back to the farm, goes to the barn to kill Randall. But his thing is he wants to lead him out and have everybody believe that he attacked them. So as he's doing that, everybody's like gathering up like, okay, Randall escaped, so we got to go and look for him. So Shane really is trying to leave Rick out to end him and become the leader again. So my question is, was this Shane's plan all along to get rid of Rick?
All along?
Not from the beginning. I mean, like, towards when he saw that he was being diminished, his role with the group.
I think
I think it clicked when Lori, I think at some point something Lori said, no, maybe in the midst of Carl healing or somewhere
she
around
said,
there.
I don't even know who the baby is.
Yeah, somewhere around there, I think it clicked in Shane's head that he could possibly have Lori and Carl to himself if Rick were out of the picture.
Remember, he tried 2 other times to kill Rick.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway.
All right, so after that, the little thing that they have going on, Shane ends up getting killed by Rick because he tries to pull a fast one and end him, and Rick ends up having to stab him. Carl puts him down after he turns. So we're entering episode 13 beside the dying fire. So the walkers hear the shot from Carl's gun, and they start making, noise draws them. So they start going towards the farm. Everybody's like running around. It's getting a little crazy now because there's like a swarm of walkers. So they attempt to fight them off, but sadly it doesn't happen that way. What should have been the emergency plan? Should they have had an emergency plan? I just think that they were a little too comfortable.
What's the word you like? Lulled into some sense of security.
So what should have been the emergency plan? Starting with you.
I think they should have all agreed to meet back where Sophia was. And I think that they should have said, if anybody's on foot, we'll wait a certain amount of time for you. But some people were like, we're going by this way. Some people were like, we're going that way. I think that they didn't have a lookout. I don't know what happened to the lookout.
When they were...
I'm surprised.
When some were at the house and some were still outside.
Yeah.
That's when they were more...
What happened to the lookout?
They were more wise. Like, they were more sharp.
They normally plan. They
got lulled into a sense of security.
But the lookout, no lookout? Like, they usually have a lookout.
They felt
at
secure. No sight of a walker. They were lulled into a sense of security.
Remember, they lost Dale. Dale was the behind-the-scenes strategist. He would stand over the fence. They were in the process.
That's a good point.
They were in the process of centralizing that area.
That's true. They were moving
they
back
were just
into
there.
the farm.
They were only there, 3 weeks?
Yeah.
So that was a part of the problem.
That's true.
But yes, they could have done a better job. Yeah. Their plan should have been to have someone replace Dale and always be on the lookout. Yeah. They were inside the house, so that was the other problem.
So even to have a lookout, what in case anything happened, like what if they were, overrun or whatever? What should have been the emergency plan aside from a lookout?
Meet us somewhere.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking.
Like
to have them meet up outside of the farm.
Further along.
That's what I was getting to.
That sounds nice and realistic, but it's not like... Look at the world that they were in. To me, I don't think it would have been realistic to have that because...
But they wouldn't have known where to go. Like everybody...
They would be coming from every direction, though.
But remember when after everything happened, they didn't really know where to go. They were guessing.
Yeah.
So they were like, Lori was like, I think Rick's going to go back to... there.
Yeah.
And so that's why she went. And then Daryl was just driving. Carol jumped in. T-Dog wanted to go. They had like different ideas. I think they should have made that plan that we're going to go back to where we first started.
That's how I feel. Okay. I feel there should have been a meet-up spot.
But also, I know we're going to wrap up, but I think that the main thing was that Shane threw everything off.
Yeah. The whole
that whole prisoner antics thing, that was all unplanned. It was so unplanned.
And I remember
that everybody was scattered.
Go back to where they first started because it was overrun.
No, it's the road. The
road was probably not a decision to make because they were getting ready. Well, that was probably not a good decision.
No, I'm saying that's how they wound up meeting back up again.
Yeah.
Nobody went looking for Andrew.
That was
central place. I was going to say, why didn't they go?
Sorry.
I was going to say, why didn't they go to look for
Andrea?
Why did they look for Andrea?
Because she was like for the group. She was such a fighter. That was wrong.
If out of anybody, Carol should have been like, we going back to look for her.
I think what did it was when somebody said they saw her go down.
But nobody stayed back
and went down. But he's like, Daryl was like, I'm going.
And
Rick was like, no, she's alive or she's dead. That's her business.
No, you said she's somewhere out there.
That was the beginning of that relationship. Yeah.
So what a note to end on. Guys, we thank you so much for watching. We appreciate you. So we ask that you like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm going to go back to that like.
Yes.
Only good comments. Don't come for us in those comments. All right? We love you guys. We appreciate you. And we will be back to discuss more Walking Dead.